Hello, how are you?
I'm clicking frantically.
It's the same thing every week. We test it, we make sure it works. It works perfectly, and then at 7 o'clock, for whatever reason, it just says, "Okay, I'm not going to work for you."
Yeah, we did. We tested it and it was instant the first time.
Yep. I thought maybe the before it was because there were different accounts, but this time there was the exact accounts we were using now, and still had the same thing. So, but what are you going to do? So,
What are you gonna do?
everybody,
Here we go.
welcome to Canes Alumni Biz by CanesWear. We have our what's today? Tuesday, April 28th. We always have to think about that these days. So today's guest is Betsy, and so I'm not going to introduce you. I'll let you introduce yourself. How about that?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight. I'm excited to be here. So, my name is Betsy Earl. I'm an alumni of the class of 2006 MBA program, currently living in Tampa, and been in Florida for 15 years and Cane for life.
Fantastic. And that's why we have you here because we are Canes for life, right? And
Exactly.
it's a beautiful program that, well, I'm tooting my own horn.
I
Just,
mean, we all turned out great, so
right.
obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're here because we wanted to talk about what you do now, and then your experiences at the university. Um, so what is your company?
So my company is called Event Driven Solutions. We are a trade show logistics consulting agency, and so basically we work with our clients to educate them on their trade show exhibit program. We also go to the trade shows on behalf of our clients and handle their setup, their install, and their dismantles. I started the business in 2010, and I actually took advantage of the awesome program that offers, which is the Launchpad.
Oh,
So I went to them with the business idea. I was just out of a job, and I presented them with a business plan. They helped me work through the business plan. And as an alumni, I was eligible for that, and they helped me sort out everything that I wanted to do. We put together Excel files and project management files and all sorts of things. And I kicked off the business on March 17th of 2010.
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long did it take to feel comfortable in
Every day it's a new journey and
it?
it's a new adventure. And I'd like to say that it's ever been fully comfortable, but I think the best part about being a business owner is that you're never fully comfortable. And if you are too comfortable, then it's probably time to start thinking about what else can you do?
Right. Yep. Well, especially now, right? You're wondering what's going on. So,
Yes.
so we'll get to that, more of that in a minute. But so congratulations on your 10-year anniversary.
Thanks.
It's a great accomplishment, and CanesWear and Event Driven Solutions are the same age. Who knew?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, April
Huh.
15th, the CanesWear started. So
Oh,
so it's the 10-year anniversary, and hopefully we're gonna have a party at some point. So maybe we should
well,
have a joint party.
congrats. Yeah, we missed our party. We were all excited about our party, and then there it went.
Hmm. Well, there'll be time to celebrate in coming
Always.
up, and you have a
Hmm.
year, right? So it's not like you have
Yeah,
one specific day. So as long as
that's
it's not on the 366th day, then it'll be the
right.
11th anniversary,
Exactly.
right? So, what is your favorite memory or best moment in your job?
My best moment in my job is it repeats itself. So we will work with our clients for give or take sometimes 6 months on big trade show programs, sometimes 3 months, hopefully not too much less than that, occasionally a month. But then when we get to the convention center, we've got days where we set up the exhibit and we work with the carpenters, and it's a lot of detail. But then the show opens and I step away and I take a look at the show with all of the people coming in that used to come into events before they were all canceled. Um, but the people would come in and you'd see the booth come alive, you see the client come alive, and you literally see what started on a piece of paper as an idea event design actually come to fruition. And that's repeatedly the best moment, just stepping back and watching it come to life.
I'm sure the little baby all grown up over and
Yes,
over and over again.
exactly. And then
See,
we have to pack it. That part's less fun.
well, yeah, that part that's probably not your best moment from
No.
doing your job. But see, I thought you were going to go with the when you had the University of Miami as a client and you had all the U stuff everywhere. I mean,
Well,
that display was amazing.
thank you. Yeah, yeah. At the University of Miami, we set up their exhibit at the Emerge Americas Expo, I think for 5 years. And it was pretty fun to approve graphics that were coming from the university's graphic design department and getting those printed and seeing massive U's. We actually designed a life size, I think it was 4 feet tall and 6 foot wide wooden U to put in the booth, which was pretty cool. I didn't get to keep it though.
I was going to say, did you get to keep it? But
No, no.
so what happens with all that stuff once it's done? Once the booth is done, do they use it again, or do they destroy it, or what happens?
They use the graphics again sometimes. The hardware is actually something that we rent to our customers. So basically, we've got a system of frames. They can be assembled in a bunch of different ways. And then our clients have the ability to tell us what it is they're looking to do, and then we'll print to fit those frames.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long does it take? Oh, well, before we get any farther, I have to ask you the question from Dolphin 55 because he asked it every single time,
Oh,
and he doesn't ever stop asking until we actually answer the question. So, do you like pineapple on your pizza?
no, I don't. I like my savory food and my sweet food, and I don't like my savory sweet foods to come together. I think pineapple's amazing and pizza's amazing, but they shouldn't belong in the same habitat.
Okay. Well, so it's about 50-50 now. I mean, we've been between Brett's Beverages with Brett and my Canes Alumni Biz. We've been asking everybody because Dolphin is the loyal viewer on these, and it's been about 50-50. Um,
Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
Nah, I could take it or leave it. It's not when I eat pizza now, I actually like it with full on veggies because it just has all of the, get, some healthy stuff, but then also all the different flavors of the vegetables. So, trying to stay healthy and also enjoy the pizza as well. So I know some people are thinking, how can you enjoy the pizza with vegetables? But I can.
I agree. I support that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've actually gotten through 4 questions before I said it, but I am looking at questions that we've made just in case we go off the rails or whatever, just to keep things flowing. So, what is your favorite memory from your time at UM?
My favorite memory was part of the MBA program. I was the vice president of my class, and we had the opportunity to organize a sports marketing day.
Ooh,
Yeah, and we brought the vice president of marketing and some other marketing people from the Dolphins, the Heat, the University of Miami. We had several sit on a panel and we talked to them about how to get into event and sport marketing. And it was just really cool to see people from the industry coming out to support the school and also to give back to us. And it was an amazing event.
and was that something that happens all the time, or you were able to organize that one time?
I don't know if it ever happened again. We arranged it through the marketing club, and I don't know that they did it after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, though. It would have been fun to hear everybody see the different. I'm sure everybody had a different experience. The
Yeah.
very popular teams versus the not
Yeah.
popular teams.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool to
Yeah,
see. The Panthers were there too, I believe. But yeah, it was a neat event.
that's great. So I know you said you did your graduate school, so you weren't there for the entire time. But did you have an organization that you was more favorite than another while you were there?
So I was on the University of Miami bowling team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I wasn't good,
I didn't know
but
we
I was
had
on the
one.
team. Yes. I don't know if it's still there. I'm not sure. But yeah, we practiced every week. We practiced up at Cloverleaf Bowling Alley.
Really?
That
Oh,
yes,
wow.
every Sunday morning at a super early hour for our league tournaments,
Okay.
and we practiced once during the week, and it was a small group, but a super fun crowd.
I don't think the Cloverleaf is there anymore, just a
No,
hunch, but
it's not. It's a mega church, I think, actually.
oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Interesting. I remember going there in elementary school, actually in high school too, from Miami Lakes, just went straight over to the Cloverleaf.
yeah.
But yeah, fun
I have a
times.
pin as a memorabilia from their bowling alley before they took it down.
Oh, wow.
hmm Random
Excellent.
fact.
That's what we're about. We are about random facts here. So we actually had another random fact with bowling, since you might as well keep with the theme, was
Okay.
that we used to have a bowling alley at the University Center.
Really?
Did, yes. See, the bowling team did not know that there was a bowling alley.
I mean,
So
that was before I was there.
it actually closed, and it closed the summer of '94.
Oh. Hmm.
Yep. Because I went on an open house in the January of '94, and it was there. And then when I started in '94 in August, it wasn't there. So it's false advertising, but
That's disappointing.
they made it bigger and
Should
better.
have
And
asked for your money back.
right, yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people want have other complaints. I mean, if all my only complaint is that the bowling alley wasn't there, I think I'm okay.
Fair.
So I probably know the answer to this question, but what hobbies do you have outside of work?
So for fun, I dance salsa. Um, I dance Zumba and teach Zumba, and I practice a lot of yoga. So during this whole stay at home, there's been a whole lot of yoga happening.
Ah.
Yeah.
And so you said you teach it. Do you teach it like professionally or just like on the side? How does that work?
Yeah, on the side from my full-time work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you need any
virtually.
certifications or anything like that, or you're just
Believe it or not, you do. Yeah,
oh,
there's a certification for Zumba instructors. Yeah. I got that a
okay.
year and a half ago. hmm
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Which do you enjoy more?
Salsa. But I can integrate the salsa into the Zumba. So then it's kind of like the whole package deal.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. What if you could change one thing that you did or didn't do at UM, what would that be?
Well, going to the salsa point, I did not know about the salsa club at the university until after I graduated. I wish that the graduate school students in the business school had a little bit more exposure to other things going on campus and not just business school stuff. I had an amazing experience, but I would have probably expanded my reach a little bit if we knew about some of the other stuff that was going on. But that was our own fault too, because we were also, you know,
Busy, right?
busy. Yeah,
Did you do it at night or during the day?
the day.
Okay. So it was
Yeah,
like a full-time program or
it was a full-time program, and my second year I worked for the Miami Heat as an intern. So I would go to class, then I would go to the arena, then I would come back for the second group of classes, and then I would go back and work the Heat games.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
So who's your favorite Heat player for the time when you were there?
Dwayne Wade.
That wasn't very hard, was it? That was like the
No,
easiest
not hard
question
at
in the
all.
world.
Really nice guy. Really
Yeah.
nice guy. Yeah,
Did you shed a tear when he retired?
I was sad. Yeah, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't play basketball forever, right?
Nope.
So I gave you these questions ahead of time because didn't want to shock you or anything like
I
that.
don't like surprises.
Right. Well, it's okay. Well, so we won't surprise you with changing of questions. But
No, go for
so
it.
so the
I'm
question
okay with
is,
that. Okay with that.
all right, when you have a chance, what is the next vacation that you want to go on? And it doesn't have to be Hawaii or anything like that. You
Yeah,
can just say something else.
honestly, right now I'm thinking the Florida beaches without wearing a mask would be awesome. which obviously that might take a little time to wait for, but um, I think our beaches are amazing here, and maybe I'm biased about that too. I'm kind of favoritism toward Florida, but that would be nice. Just a safe, healthy beach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just wonder what's going to happen after this. You know, when is it going to go to being the beaches that we remember and the
Yeah,
parties that we remember and the celebrations that we remember? But we'll
exactly.
get there, right? So uh, just a matter of hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but just have to roll with the punches for now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you have any advice or for current students or recent graduates?
Um, yeah, I think, well, especially in this challenging time, I can speak on behalf of the hospitality event, trade show, the whole kind of massive industry that we live in. That there wasn't really a program crafted for what I wanted to do. Um, but as a student, I think you have the opportunity to kind of think out of that box and try to consider alternative options to the jobs that are posted, for example, and think about things you want to do. And, back when I was in the program, there was actually an entrepreneurship track in the MBA program. And I wasn't even interested in that at the time. I had no idea I would ever want to start a business, but
Yeah,
I think one of the most important things is to just kind of open your mind up to, okay, maybe I take this job when I graduate and this isn't what I want to do forever, but how can I take the skills that I obtained there and use them horizontally to maybe go somewhere different down the line? Because ultimately, some of those jobs right out of school might not be perfect,
right.
but they're all teaching us something.
So along those lines, obviously you went to you for your MBA, and you did you have any experience before that, before you started your MBA, or
I
you
worked
just
for 1 year after undergrad. And actually, that's something that I would, if I had an option to do it differently, I think it worked out great. But had I known what I know now, I might have given it more time between the two programs, because I think there's things that I might have been able to apply to my studies in the MBA program, where I would have been able to get a little bit more out of it had I more work experience.
right?
Um, and I don't think it's a detriment to do it either way, but at the same time, I think it could have been maybe a little bit more beneficial.
No, I agree. When I started my other job 22 years ago, um, it was it was also recommended, get some experience and then go versus just go straight to graduate school because then you have something to relate it to. So
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
yeah.
Um, as far as talking to people, just obviously every career is different, but would you just recommend just talking to people and the professionals, use the mentorship program, um, things of that nature, like sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest thing is the networking and the talking to people, and just, I mean, I met you at a networking event, and look, turned out to, I got to know you. And it's just, if you start surrounding yourself with people who might be able to teach you something you didn't otherwise know, that's always a great opportunity. And also, as a student, someone gave me a really good piece of advice that I've not forgotten, and it was that um, maybe there's a specific networking group that you're really interested in, but you're nervous or uncomfortable and you're not ready to check it out. And that's within the university or without outside. They suggested going to some events that you were not interested in to kind of get your feet wet, to get comfortable, to try to test the water. So I went to some, I never wanted to do finance, but I went to some finance networking events because I thought this is going to get me out of my comfort zone, so that when I'm back in my comfort zone where I actually want to get to know the network a little bit better, I'm not going to feel as shy or nervous, which obviously I'm not shy or nervous anymore. So I think
Nope.
it worked.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I always say you never know what one conversation is going to change
Exactly.
the course of your life or your career or whatever that is. So,
Yeah.
I always I agree with that 100%. I mean, I can't believe I'm doing Instagram Live sessions now because
Me
you
neither.
know I never expected that I would be doing something like this. So I agree. You know, do something that you're definitely not comfortable with. And you know, Brett keeps talking about Gary V and you know all the positivity. I don't know if you've heard of Gary V. I always forget his
Yeah.
last name, but you know he's
Yeah,
a motivational speaker
yeah,
type person, but he's also promoting people at the same time, and you know just trying to think outside the box, be positive, and you know just you know try to get comfortable in something new.
yeah. And I also read a study that said that people might assume that maybe another person in their industry or out of their industry or at a networking event doesn't want to engage in conversation, but that statistics actually show that they do. And they might just look like they don't want to talk. And so if you test the waters and get out there and smile at people, then they might turn around and talk to you, and you might think, oh, gee, that person isn't really too sure that they want to engage in conversation with me. But what's the worst that happens?
Right,
Talk to someone
exactly.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you won't even remember that day.
exactly.
The whole point is to go to an event and be part of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So there was a question on there. I was trying to read it. It's kind of small letters for me, but I have the phone so far back that I'm trying to read the little text. So you were talking. Someone said about advice for 2020 grads versus um, anything else. I don't know if they just joined, but I don't know. I think we pretty much covered that. Unless you have something else specific for now.
No, not specifically. I just think the more people you talk to, the more you network and engage in conversation and get exposure, the better.
Yep, absolutely. Any other questions out there that we may not have seen? Um, just type them in the chat. And so you mentioned during this time when it's the obviously the conference business is not what it was. I guess that's to put it lightly. What are you promoting now to keep your A sanity and B some revenue stream going forward?
Yeah, so we are working on doing online consulting for customers who are looking to exhibit at shows, be it in the fall or next year, where they're maybe considering how they can um, manage costs and cost savings. And also anyone who's interested in educational content, we are offering that as well. And hopefully the live events will be back. You know, we can get back onto the trade show floor, but it's it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any idea? I mean, obviously that's probably one of the last things as far as because of social distancing and things of that nature. Any ideas of what the industry is saying on that?
Yeah, so they were just doing projections, and the first set of projections, which were about a month ago, everyone was saying September, October, but that feels like it's being pushed back more toward November, December. Although I think the meeting of the minds of everyone is that none of us really know any better than the next person.
Right.
But most everything is leaning toward anything with over 100 people or more is going to be
Pushed
way
out.
out there down
Yeah.
the line. Yeah.
Okay. Once they figure out how to manage all that.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you have all kinds of different account names for your different hobbies. So which ones do you want to mention here to so that people can go and follow you?
Well, please come follow me here on Event Driven Solutions. It's just spelled out Event Driven Solutions. And then also my personal page is Betsy, Betsy underscore EDS, like Event Driven Solutions. So if you either write to me on there or here, I will get back to you with anything that's related to any of these topics that you might want to know more about.
So
And
we've got conference material, we've got yoga, we've got salsa
we are the
dancing.
full package. Yep.
Yeah,
but if anyone in the university is looking to get into the event side of things, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to give my 2 cents and help out if I can.
awesome, fantastic. I haven't seen any other questions. Just keep seeing some other people join. Thank you very much for being on the Canes Alumni Biz by CanesWear. Every week I say the same thing. I'm gonna once be able to say it without looking at the paper. So this week it didn't happen. So we'll shoot for next week for Canes
Coming.
Alumni Biz
It's
by
coming.
CanesWear. It's something
It's a
you always have to
mouthful.
have something to strive towards to, right? So
Exactly. We can't be
uh,
bored. Bored is bad.
right, very, and definitely not bored. So much to do and so little time. Even it's amazing how much time there isn't
But
during this
yep,
time that's going on. So just
so
trying to
true.
shove everything in there. So
So
thank you
true.
very much for being with us. Any last comments or anything that you'd like to share before we call it a show?
No, thank you for putting together this program. It's great, and anything that's getting the university exposure to, especially to small businesses, is amazing. So kudos to what you're doing, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being on. And before you leave, you always have to do the. All right,
We
all
didn't
right.
even practice.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like you just got to know what to do, right? So,
Exactly.
all right.
Be
Thank you
prepared.
very much. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.